Hello, my dear child. Come and sit with me for a while. I have been waiting for you here, in this quiet, secluded place. I have been watching you, and I have been listening, not to your words, but to the deeper language of your heart. I heard its silent cry. You're feeling lost, aren't you? It's all right. You don't have to hide it from me, I know. Come, find a comfortable place to rest, right here beside me. Feel the solid, unmoving ground beneath you. Take a moment to really connect with it. Notice its stability. It isn't shifting. It isn't crumbling. It is firm, and it is holding you. It's okay if everything inside you feels like it's spinning, like you're on a ship in a storm, and the world is tilting violently beneath your feet. That feeling is real, but it is not the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is this ground. It is my steadiness. Let my unshakable presence be your anchor, just for a little while. Let's just breathe together. There is no agenda here. No problem we must solve in the next 5 minutes. Just breathe. A long, slow breath in, as if you were drawing the quiet of this place deep into your lungs. Hold it for just a second. And now, a long, slow breath out, releasing the frantic energy, the panic, the desperate need to find a map. Let it all go on the air. You don't have to have any answers right now. You don't have to know the way forward. You don't even have the burden of understanding how you arrived at this place of deep confusion. Your only task in this moment, the only thing I ask of you, is to simply be here, with me. I see the look in your eyes. Even if you cannot see it yourself, I see it. It's a look I know so well, a look I have seen on the faces of my beloved children throughout all of history. It is the look of someone standing utterly still in the middle of a thick, disorienting, and chilling fog. You turn your head one way, and you see only shifting, formless grey. You turn the other way, and it is the same. There are no landmarks, no familiar paths, no signposts to guide your next step. The silence in the fog is heavy, oppressive, and every sound the beat of your own heart. The rush of your own blood seems muffled and distant, as if it belongs to someone else. You try to call out for help, but your voice is swallowed by the mist, and the silence that answers back feels vast and terrifying. In this fog, you feel utterly and completely alone, a solitary soul adrift in a world that has suddenly lost all its familiar shapes and sounds. My child, I want you to know that I understand this feeling, not just with a divine sympathy, but with an experiential knowledge. When I chose to walk the earth as a man, I chose to enter into the wilderness. For 40 days and 40 nights, I was in a place with no signposts, no comforts, no clear path. It was a place of testing and reliance. Later, in the Garden of Gethsemane, surrounded by the deep darkness of night, the path that lay before me was one of profound sorrow and cosmic loneliness. A path that none of my dearest friends could walk with me. I understand the unique ache of a soul that feels isolated in a place of desolation. You are not describing a feeling to me that I do not comprehend on the deepest possible level. I have been there. Therefore, I can be here with you, now. So, I invite you, bring your lostness to me, all of it. Don't try to hide it or minimize it. Don't try to put on a brave face for me. The greatest act of faith, the most courageous thing you can do right now, is to let down your guard and whisper the honest truth. Jesus, I am lost. That single, vulnerable admission is the most beautiful prayer you can offer me tonight. It is the sound my shepherd's heart has been waiting to hear. It is the key that unlocks the door for me to come in and begin my gentle work of calming your soul, of stilling the panic within you. Here, in this quiet place I have prepared for your soul, there is absolutely no pressure. You do not need a map, for I am the map maker. You do not need a compass, for I am your true north. You do not need a 5-year plan, for I hold all of your moments in my hands. All you need is to be present. Present with your deep confusion. Present with your trembling fear. And present with me, the one who is never lost, the one in whom all things hold together. Let my presence be the first, and for now, the only, landmark you orient yourself to. Before you try to figure out your life, just figure out where I am, and I am right here, closer to you than your own skin. My presence is a warm, steady fire in the center of the cold fog. I want you to turn your full attention to it now. See its gentle, golden light. Watch how it pushes back the gray mist, creating a small, safe circle of clarity right where you are. Feel its warmth beginning to seep into you, pushing back the chill of your fear. This light may not illuminate the entire path ahead, rarely does, but it will always, always illuminate the sacred ground we share together. For so long, you have been trying to navigate by your own strength and your own understanding. You have been looking at the world's maps, the maps of success, of security, of self-help, and you have listened to the world's conflicting directions, and they have led you here, to this place of profound disorientation. Tonight, I lovingly invite you to lay down those torn, unreliable maps. Lay down your relentless need to understand everything before you take a step. Lay down your fear of the unknown, which has kept you frozen in place, and just sit. Sit in the quiet with me, your shepherd. A lost sheep does not find its own way home. A frantic, panicked sheep only runs further into the wilderness or exhausts itself running in circles. A wise sheep, when it realizes it is lost, simply gets still. It stops its desperate running, and it begins to listen. It strains its ears not for the sounds of predators or the confusing echoes of the canyons, but for one sound alone, the distinct, familiar, loving call of its shepherd. That is your only task tonight, to be still, to cease the frantic running inside your own mind, and to begin to listen for a different sound, the sound of my voice, which speaks only peace, which carries only love, and which always, always promises to lead you home. You are not a failure because you feel lost. You are a human being, walking through a world that is designed to disorient you. Feeling lost is not the end of your story. Often, it is the necessary beginning of a truer, deeper story. It is the sacred moment when you finally stop relying on yourself and start desperately looking for your shepherd. And my beloved, I am here. I have seen you from afar, wandering in the fog, my heart filled with compassion for you. I have been walking toward you all this time, calling your name softly. And now I have found you, sitting right here. The search is over. You can stop. You can rest. You have been found. The first and most important step is complete. Now, just rest here with me. Rest in the profound, relieving safety of being found. Let my quiet presence be the beginning of the calm your soul so desperately, deeply needs. My child, let's stay here for a moment and talk more about this feeling, this deep, internal ache of being adrift. It is important that we name it, that we understand it, so that we can bring my healing directly to it. It's more than just confusion, isn't it? Confusion is a problem of the mind, but this is an ache of the soul. It is a profound, hollow feeling that seems to have taken up residence in the very center of your chest. It is the terrifying sensation of being unmoored, untethered, and utterly powerless. I want you to use your imagination for a moment. Picture yourself in a small, sturdy boat. This boat is your life. For a long time, it was safely moored in a harbor. You knew the harbor. You knew the tides, the other boats, the familiar sight of the shoreline. You were anchored to something solid and reliable. But then, in the darkness of a long night, without a sound, the rope frayed and snapped, and you began to drift, silently at first, then relentlessly. You have been pushed by invisible currents, currents of change, of loss, of disillusionment, out of the safe harbor and into a vast, open, and unknown sea. During the daylight hours of your life, you can almost ignore it. You keep yourself busy. You row frantically, you bail water, you check your supplies, you focus on the immediate tasks. The constant motion creates the comforting illusion of direction, of progress. But when the night of the soul comes, as it has for you now, and the world grows quiet, the stillness outside only serves to amplify the terrifying reality of your situation. You lie down, and the true vastness of the sea of your life opens up before you. It stretches to every horizon. In the moonlight, you can see no land, no other sails. You are a single, solitary speck, and you feel the slow, silent, relentless drift pulling you further and further into the great unknown. And a cold, primal terror begins to creep into the marrow of your bones. Let's name the different strands of this ache. First, the ache of being adrift is the ache of having no solid ground beneath your feet. The things you once stood upon as firm, unshakable foundations, perhaps it was your career, your financial security, a key relationship, your physical health, or even your own sense of identity, have either crumbled into dust or revealed themselves to be nothing more than shifting sand. In the darkness of your confusion, you reach out a tentative foot, desperately hoping to touch something solid, something real, but you find nothing. And this feeling of groundlessness is a unique kind of terror. It makes you feel like you are in a constant state of freefall, with no bottom in sight. Then, the ache of being adrift is the ache of having no fixed point on the horizon. A sailor in the dark can always look for the North Star. It is the one point of light that does not move. It gives bearings, it gives direction. But for you, right now, it feels as if the sky is completely covered in thick clouds. You look out into the darkness, but there is no star, no lighthouse beacon, no distant shoreline to guide you to a safe harbor. Every direction looks exactly the same, a vast, dark, intimidating expanse of uncertainty. And without a destination, without a point of reference, every movement feels random and meaningless. This profound lack of purpose is a heavy, wearying burden for the human soul, which was created to journey with intention. And finally, the ache of being adrift is the ache of a profound and piercing loneliness. In your small boat, on this vast sea, you feel you are the only one. You are convinced that no one else could possibly understand this specific brand of lostness. You see other boats, perhaps, but they all seem to be sailing with purpose, their sails full, their course set. This isolates you. It convinces you that you are uniquely broken, uniquely flawed, uniquely alone in your struggle. This lie is the cruelest part of the ache, for it keeps you from firing a flare, from calling out for help. It keeps you from believing that a rescuer could ever find you in this infinite, empty ocean. My beloved, I want to speak directly to that threefold ache tonight. I want my words to be the first solid thing you have felt in a very long time. I want them to be the anchor you have been searching for. To your feeling of groundlessness, I speak this truth. I am your rock. I am your firm, unshakable foundation. Though the earth gives way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though your career falters and your relationships change, I do not move. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. You may feel like you are falling, but you can never fall out of the grip of my hand. The ground of your circumstances may have shifted beneath you, but the ground of my being has not. Plant your feet in your mind and in your heart on me. I am solid. I am real. I will hold you. To your feeling of having no direction, I speak this truth. I am your morning star. I am your true north. Even when the clouds of confusion and despair hide all other lights in the sky, I am still there. My light does not dim. My position does not change. You may not be able to see the whole harbor yet. That is okay. You don't need to. You only need to see me. Look to me. Orient your entire being toward me. Let my presence be your compass. As long as you are moving toward me, even if it is just turning your heart in my direction, you are moving in the right direction. And to your feeling of profound loneliness, I speak this most intimate truth. I am in the boat with you. You have been so focused on the waves and the darkness that you haven't realized it. But I have been here all along, sitting silently in the stern, waiting for you to turn and see me. You are not a lone vessel on a dark sea. We are in this together, and I am a master of this sea. I know its currents. I know its storms. I commanded them to be still once, and I can do it again. I know the way to the shore. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The ache you feel is real. I do not dismiss it or minimize it. I honor it. It is the holy cry of a soul created for stability, for purpose, and for communion. And it is doing its sacred work. It is causing you to look for the very things a rock, a star, a companion that I long to be for you. So do not despise the ache of being adrift. Instead, let it be the very thing that pushes you to reach out for the anchor. And I am that anchor, an anchor for your soul, both sure and steadfast. Let me attach the heavy, unbreakable chain of my hope to your heart tonight. The drifting can stop. The anchor can and will hold. Let me calm the ache within you. Rest now. The anchor is set. My beloved child, now that we have set the anchor of my presence, let's address the panic that often accompanies the feeling of being lost. It is the frantic, internal pressure to immediately find a map, to figure out the path, to know the next 10 steps. It is a voice of immense anxiety, and it whispers, or sometimes shouts, that it is not okay to be lost. It tells you that you must get your bearings right now, that to be without a clear path is a sign of failure, of foolishness, of being abandoned. This pressure is a cruel taskmaster, and it is a terrible companion in the fog. It forces you to take frantic, ill-advised steps, often leading you deeper into confusion. So, tonight, I want to give you a gift. It is a gift of profound liberation, a release from this terrible pressure. I want to look you in the eyes, with all the authority of heaven and all the tenderness of a loving father, and tell you it is okay to not know the way. Let that sink in. Let it wash over the frantic, panicked parts of your soul. I release you from the burden of having to know. I release you from the pressure of needing a plan. I release you from the self-imposed expectation that you should have this all figured out by now. In this sacred space, in this moment of quiet communion with me, your ignorance of the path ahead is not a failing. It is an acceptable and even holy state of being. Why is it okay? It is okay because I know the way. Your lack of knowledge does not change the fact that the path exists in my mind. Imagine you are a very small child, being led through a vast, unfamiliar city by your father. The child has no idea where they are going. The streets are strange, the language is foreign, the crowds are intimidating. Does the father expect the child to have memorized the map? Does he scold the child for not knowing which turn to take next? Of course not. The father's only expectation is that the child will hold his hand. The child's security is not in their own knowledge of the way, but in their trust in the one who is leading them. The child can be completely lost and yet perfectly safe, all at the same time, simply because they are with their father. You are that child tonight, and I am that father. Your job is not to know the map. Your job is to hold my hand. This pressure to know the way often comes from a place of pride, even a pride you are unaware of. It is the subtle belief that you are ultimately in control of your own life, that your safety and success depend on your own cleverness and foresight. To admit I don't know feels like admitting defeat. It feels like a surrender of control, and it is. But it is a surrender into hands that are far more capable, far more wise, and far more loving than your own. Letting go of the need to know is an act of profound humility, and it is in that humble space that you will find the deepest rest. It is also okay to not know the way, because this season of not knowing is often a place of deep and necessary. In the wilderness of uncertainty, you learn things about yourself and about me that you could never learn on a well-paved, clearly marked highway. In the wilderness, you learn what you truly thirst for. You learn the difference between what you want and what you need. You learn to listen more intently for my voice. You learn that I can bring water from a rock and provide manna in the morning. This place of being lost is not a punishment. It is often a classroom. It is a sacred space where I strip away your self-reliance so that you can discover the beautiful, freeing reality of your reliance on me. So, let's practice this release together. I want you to picture the map of your life as you think it should be. It is filled with your plans, your timelines, your expectations. See it clearly in your mind. Now, I want you to imagine yourself folding that map up. Fold it once, and again, until it is a small, tight square. And then, I want you to place that folded map into my hands. As you do, say in your heart, I don't have to know the way. You do, I trust you. Feel the immense relief that comes with that surrender. The responsibility is no longer yours. Tonight, your only task is to rest in the presence of the one who knows all paths. You do not need to spend your precious energy, the energy you need for healing and restoration, on trying to solve the puzzle of your future. Leave the map making and the navigation to me. My plans for you are good. They are plans for a hope and a future, even if the path to that future leads through this temporary fog. Let go of the need to know. Let go of the frantic searching. Be still and know that I am God, and I am here, and I have you, and that is all you need to know tonight. My dear one, let's talk more about this fog. It is the perfect metaphor for how you feel, isn't it? The future, which perhaps once seemed like a clear and open landscape, is now completely obscured by a thick, silent, impenetrable fog. It rolled in so quietly, you may not have even noticed it at first, but now it is your entire reality. It clings to you, damp and cold. It muffles sound, creating a sense of isolation, and most terrifyingly, it erases the path. You stand at the edge of this fog, and the fear of taking a single step can be paralyzing. What if you step off a cliff you cannot see? What if you wander in circles, making no progress at all? What if you take a path that leads you even further away from where you want to be? This fear is real and understandable. The fog represents the great unknown, and the human heart naturally fears what it cannot see or control. You have been trying to fight the fog. You have been trying to will it away, to blow it away with the force of your own anxiety. You have been straining your eyes, trying to pierce through it with your own intellect, believing that if you just think hard enough, you can discern the shapes hidden within it. But this struggle is exhausting, and it is fruitless. You cannot control the weather of your life. You cannot control when the fogs of uncertainty roll in. So tonight, I am not going to magically banish the fog for you. Sometimes, the fog is a necessary part of the journey. Instead, I am going to join you in the fog. I am going to stand beside you, and I am going to change how you experience it. First, I want you to stop seeing the fog as your enemy. I want you to see it as an invitation. It is an invitation to walk by faith, not by sight. It is an invitation to stop relying on your own vision, which is so limited, and to start relying on mine, which is infinite. The fog forces you to slow down. It forces you to be more deliberate, more mindful of each step. It forces you to listen more carefully. In a way, the fog can be a gift, for it is in the fog that you learn to depend on your guide in a way you never would on a bright, sunny day. Now, I want you to feel my presence with you, right here at the edge of the path, and I want you to see that I am holding a lantern. It is not a great, blazing floodlight that will burn away all the mist and reveal the entire landscape for miles ahead. I rarely work that way, because that would eliminate the need for trust. No, this is a small, humble lantern, but its light is warm, and it is steady, and it cannot be extinguished by the densest fog. The purpose of this lantern is not to show you your destination. It is not to show you the turn you will need to take a mile from now. The purpose of this lantern is simply to illuminate the next place to put your foot. That is all. It casts a small, gentle circle of light right at your feet. And in that circle of light, the ground is clear. You can see if there is a stone to avoid or a root to step over. In that small circle, you can take one next step with confidence. This is how I guide you through the seasons of fog. Not with a detailed map, but with a lamp for your feet and a light for your path. Just enough light for the next step. And then, once you take that step, the lantern moves with you and illuminates the next step, and so on, and so on. It requires a continuous, moment-by-moment trust. It is a walk of profound intimacy where you are always aware of your need for my light. So let go of your need to see the whole journey. Release the desire for a 5-year forecast. That is a burden you were never meant to carry. Your only responsibility and your only possibility for peace is to focus on the small circle of light at your feet. What is the next step illuminated for you right now? Perhaps it is not a physical step at all. Perhaps the next step is simply to take another deep, calming breath. Then let us take that step together. Breathe breathe in and out. Good, the light is there. Perhaps the next step is to consciously release the tension in your shoulders. Let us take that step. Feel them soften. The light is there. Perhaps the next step is to simply close your eyes and entrust this entire night to me. That is a step of faith. Take it. The light is there, illuminating the ground of my faithfulness for you to stand on. Let my voice be the light of the lantern. Let it be the gentle guide that cuts through the confusing silence of the fog. You do not need to see when you can hear the one who sees all. Just listen to me. I am telling you that you are safe. I am telling you that I am with you. And I am telling you that the next step is simply to rest. Let that be your one confident step tonight. A step into the pillow. A step into the quiet. A step into sleep. I will hold the lantern. I will watch the path. You just need to take the step of rest. I have you. We will get through this fog together, one single illuminated step at a time. My beloved child, we stand together in this fog, the lantern of my presence illuminating the ground at your feet. And before we consider taking any step forward, before we even attempt to find a direction, we must first find our center. The feeling of being lost creates a panic that lives in the body. It quickens the heart. It shortens the breath. It tenses the muscles. It puts your entire being into a state of high alert, of fight or flight. But you cannot hear the quiet voice of your shepherd when your whole body is screaming in alarm. So, the very first, most essential step on this path out of confusion is not a step of the feet, but a step of the breath. Just breathe with me here. This may sound too simple, too trivial for the magnitude of the lostness you feel. But your breath is the bridge between your frantic mind and your weary body. It is the rhythm that connects your physical self to your spiritual self. And by consciously, gently guiding your breath, you are sending a powerful message from your soul to your cells. A message that says, it is safe now. The shepherd is here. The immediate danger has passed. You can stand down from high alert. Let's not make this a task to be achieved, but a gift to be received. Settle your body as comfortably as you can. You do not have to force anything. Simply bring a gentle awareness to your own breathing, just as it is right now. Notice the air as it enters your nostrils. Is it cool? Is it rushed? Notice your chest and shoulders. Do they rise and fall quickly in a shallow rhythm? This is the breath of anxiety. This is the breath of the lost sheep, heart pounding, scanning for predators. Acknowledge it without judgment. It has been your body's way of trying to keep you safe. Thank it for its service. And now, let's lovingly invite it to a new, slower, deeper rhythm. My rhythm, the rhythm of peace. I want you to place a hand on your heart or on your stomach, if that feels right. This is to help you feel the movement, to make this more tangible. Now, I want you to exhale completely. Gently push all the air out of your lungs, as if you are emptying a vessel of all its stale, stagnant air. Imagine that with this air you are breathing out the frantic need for answers. You are breathing out the panic. Let it all go until you feel completely empty. Now, when you are ready, inhale slowly and deeply through your nose. And as you do, I want you to imagine that you are breathing me in. You are breathing in the very atmosphere of this sacred space. You are breathing in my calm. You are breathing in my strength. You are breathing in my presence. Don't just let the breath fill the top of your chest. Let it go deeper. Feel it expand your ribs. Feel it press gently against your hand as it fills your belly. This is a life-giving breath, a soul-filling breath. Hold it for just a moment, not a tense hold, but a gentle pause, allowing that peace to soak into every part of you. And now, exhale even more slowly than you inhaled. Open your mouth slightly and let the air escape with a soft, audible sigh. H-H-H, H-H-H. Let that sigh be the sound of your surrender. Imagine that on this long, slow out-breath, you are releasing the tension from your shoulders. You are releasing the knot in your stomach. You are releasing the tightness in your jaw. You are letting go. Let's continue this pattern together for a little while. There is no rush. This is the work. An in-breath, receiving my peace, my presence, my enoughness for this moment. A gentle pause, letting it settle. And a long, slow out-breath, releasing the fear, the confusion, the need to control. With each breath out, you are letting go of the world's frantic pace. The world screams that you must hurry, that you must solve this problem now, that you are falling behind. But my rhythm is the rhythm of eternity. It is unhurried, it is patient, it is graceful. As you breathe with me, you are stepping out of the chaotic currents of the world and into the slow, deep, steady river of my sovereignty. Breathe in, I am here. Breathe out, the fear can go. Breathe in, you are safe. Breathe out, the striving can cease. Breathe in, I am your guide. Breathe out, the need to know the way can rest. Do you feel the change? It may be subtle at first, but feel the slight slowing of your own heartbeat. Feel the tiny release of muscles you didn't even know were clenched. Feel the quiet space beginning to open up in your mind, a space that was previously filled with the clamor of panic. You are doing this. You are choosing to calm your own soul with my help. This is the first step of the journey home, finding the way back to yourself. Finding the way back to your own God-given rhythm of peace. Before you can hear my direction, your own inner world must become quiet enough to listen. So continue to breathe. This simple, sacred act is your anchor in this moment. It is the one thing you can do when you feel you can do nothing. It is the starting point for everything else. Just breathe with me now. Here in the fog, here in the quiet. I am breathing with you. We are in this together. My dear one, as your breathing slows and a measure of calm begins to settle in your body, let us address one of the most powerful, paralyzing agents in the fog of lostness. It is the deep, pervasive fear of taking a wrong step. This fear is a crafty and cruel tormentor. It stands before you on the misty path, a terrifying specter, and it whispers insidious lies. It tells you the world is a minefield. One wrong move, and everything will explode. One wrong choice, and you will ruin your life forever. One wrong turn, and you will wander in the wilderness for the rest of your days, forgotten by God and man. This fear convinces you that your journey is a fragile, high-stakes tightrope walk, and that you have no safety net. And so, the safest option, the only rational choice, appears to be to stand perfectly still, to not move at all. Paralysis masquerades as prudence. This fear is born of a profound misunderstanding of me and of the nature of my kingdom. It assumes that I am a harsh and unforgiving taskmaster, a celestial navigator just waiting for you to make a mistake so I can say, "Aha, you failed. You're on your own now." It imagines my will as a single, razor-thin line, and if you deviate from it by even a millimeter, you are hopelessly, irredeemably lost. My child, listen to my voice, the voice of your gentle shepherd. This is not who I am. My will for you is not a tightrope. It is a vast, open pasture. And my love for you is not a fragile thread that can be snapped by a single misstep. It is an unbreakable covenant. I want you to understand something about the way I work. I am the master weaver. I am the great redeemer. This means that even your wrong steps, your detours, your mistakes, the ones made in fear, in ignorance, or even in rebellion, are not outside of my ability to redeem and to use. I can take the tangled, knotted threads of your wrong turns and weave them into the beautiful tapestry of your life in a way that ultimately serves my good purpose for you. Think of my disciples. Think of Peter. In a moment of intense fear, he took a devastatingly wrong step. He denied he even knew me, not once, but 3 times. By the world's logic, that should have been the end of his story. He stepped off the tightrope. He failed the test. But what did I do? Did I cast him aside? No. I found him on a beach. I cooked him breakfast. I restored him with love and forgiveness. And that very failure, that painful memory of his own weakness, became the fertile ground for a new humility and a deeper reliance on me that made him one of the greatest leaders in the history of my church. His wrong step, once redeemed by my grace, became a source of profound strength. Think of the Apostle Paul. Before he met me, his entire life was one giant wrong step. He was actively trying to destroy my followers. He was my enemy. But I met him on the road to Damascus, and I did not condemn him. I called him. I repurposed his passion, his intelligence, his zeal. I took all the energy he was using for a wrong cause, and I redeemed it for the greatest cause in the universe. My grace is greater than your mistakes. My redemptive power is more creative than your capacity to get lost. This does not mean we should be careless, but it means we can be fearless. It means you can be free from the paralysis of what if I get it wrong. So, let's release this fear tonight. I want you to picture that terrifying specter on the path ahead of you, the one whispering threats of permanent ruin. I want you to see it for what it is, a liar, a phantom made of pure fear. Now, see me standing beside you, and watch as I simply raise my hand, and a wave of pure divine light emanates from me. And this light doesn't fight the specter. It simply passes through it, and the phantom dissolves like smoke in the wind. It has no substance. It has no power in my presence. The path is clear of that fear now, and I am here to promise you this. If you take a step, and it is a misstep, I will not abandon you. I will be there to steady you, to redirect you, to pick you up. I will use it. I will redeem it. I will build it into your story. You cannot outsin my grace. You cannot get so lost that my shepherd's crook cannot reach you and gently pull you back. The only truly wrong step is the one you refuse to take out of fear. The only true failure is the paralysis that keeps you from moving forward in faith, even a faith as small as a mustard seed. So, be at peace. The fear of making a permanent, life-ruining mistake is a lie. Your life is held in hands that are far too strong and loving for that to be possible. Let go of the paralysis and be free to take the next, small, quiet step of trust, which for you, right now, is the step into a deep and fearless sleep, knowing that your shepherd is not just your guide, but also your redeemer. My beloved child, as we sit here together in this growing stillness, let us explore another reason you feel so lost. It is not just the fog on the path, but the noise in the air. Your soul is adrift in a sea of ceaseless, conflicting, and demanding voices. And their cacophony has drowned out the one voice you truly need to hear. Think about your day. From the moment you awaken, the voices begin. The voice of the news, telling you all the reasons you should be afraid, all the ways the world is broken. The voice of social media, a curated chorus of other people's successes and joys, which so often whispers a subtle lie to you. Your life is not as good as theirs. You are falling behind. The voices of your family, your friends, your colleagues, all with their own needs, their own opinions, their own expectations of you, both spoken and unspoken. The voice of advertising, relentlessly telling you that you are incomplete, that you need more, that happiness is just one purchase away. These are the loud voices, but there are quieter, more insidious ones as well. There is the voice of your own inner critic, that harsh judge who keeps a running tally of all your failures and shortcomings. It speaks with an authority that can feel absolute, condemning you for not being smarter, stronger, or more disciplined. And there is the voice of your past, the echoes of old hurts, old shames, old fears, that can rise up like ghosts to whisper their discouraging messages when you are tired and vulnerable. All of these voices are shouting directions at you. Go this way. No, this is the path to happiness. You must do this to be safe. You need to be more like them. It is like standing in the middle of a crowded, chaotic marketplace, with 1,000 vendors all shouting for your attention, pulling at your sleeves. It is overwhelming, it is disorienting, and it is utterly exhausting to your spirit. It is no wonder you feel lost. How could you possibly find your true path in the midst of such a deafening clamor? You have been trying to listen to all of them, trying to please all of them, trying to synthesize all their conflicting advice into a coherent map. But it is an impossible task. It has left you paralyzed by confusion, your own inner compass spinning wildly, unable to find a true north. Tonight, here in this sacred, quiet space with me, we are going to create a holy silence. I am not going to add my voice to the clamor. I am going to help you subtract the others so that you can finally hear the still, small voice that has been there all along. With each slow, deep breath you take, I want you to perform a sacred act of release. As you inhale, breathe in the peace and quiet of my presence, and as you exhale, I want you to intentionally release one of those voices. Breathe in my peace, and as you breathe out, release the loud, frantic voice of the world's news and opinions. Let it go. Its anxieties are not yours to carry tonight. Breathe in my acceptance, and as you breathe out, release the whispering, comparing voice of social media. Let it fade away. Your journey is your own, unique and beautiful. Breathe in my love, and as you breathe out, release the demanding voices of other people's expectations. You are free from them tonight. You are responsible only to me. Breathe in my grace, and as you breathe out, release the harsh, condemning voice of your inner critic. It is not my voice. It is a liar. Let it be silenced by my forgiveness. Breathe in my stillness. And as you breathe out, release the ghostly echoes of the past. They have no power here, in the now of my presence. Continue this gentle process. One by one, let the voices go. Imagine them as balloons you are releasing into the sky, watching them drift away until they are tiny specks, and then nothing at all. Imagine the marketplace emptying out, the vendors packing up their wares and leaving, until the great square is silent and empty, washed in the clean light of the moon. What is left? In the profound silence that remains, a new quality of listening becomes possible. You are no longer listening for something. You are listening from a place of quiet. You are listening with the ears of your heart. My voice is not like the others. I rarely shout. The prophet Elijah discovered this. He looked for me in the great wind, in the powerful earthquake, and in the raging fire, but I was not in any of them. I came after them all in the sound of a low whisper, a still, small voice. You must become still to hear a whisper. You must become quiet to perceive its nuances. My voice does not bully its way into your attention. It waits patiently for you to quiet the other noises so that you can choose to tune in to its frequency. And you are doing that now. In this stillness, you can begin to hear me. And what am I saying? I am not giving you a complex 10-point plan for your life. I am whispering the things your soul most needs to hear. I am whispering, you are safe. I am whispering, I am with you. I am whispering, you are my beloved child. I am whispering, rest. This is the only voice that matters. This is the only voice that speaks with perfect truth, perfect love, and perfect wisdom. Let all the other voices fade into the background until they are nothing but a distant, irrelevant hum. And let my whisper be the only sound that fills your awareness. It is the voice of your shepherd, and my sheep know my voice. You know this voice. It feels like home. It feels like peace. Listen to it now, and let it lead you into the quiet pastures of a deep and restorative sleep. My dear one, as we tune out the external voices, let's turn our attention to one of the most painful aspects of feeling lost. For a child of God, the feeling of being lost is almost always intertwined with the feeling of being distant from me. The confusion on your path translates into a perceived chasm in our relationship. You feel lost in the world because you feel far from your God. This feeling of distance is a heavy, aching sorrow. It can feel like a spiritual homesickness. You remember a time when your faith felt more vibrant, when my presence felt more tangible, when prayers felt like they were reaching their destination. And now, there seems to be only silence. A hollow emptiness where that connection used to be. You pray, and your words feel like they are hitting a brass ceiling and falling back down, unheard. You reach for me in the dark, but you feel nothing. And you begin to wonder, where did you go? Did I do something to drive you away? Have you finally given up on me? This feeling of separation is the great lie at the heart of your desolation. It is the master strategy of the enemy of your soul, because he knows that if he can convince you that you are disconnected from your power source, from your very life, he can leave you feeling hopeless and utterly defeated. So tonight, I want to wage war on that lie with the truth of my unbreakable promise. I want to close that perceived distance with the reality of my nearness. Listen to me, my child. Listen with all of your heart. I have said in my word, I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is not a suggestion. It is not a conditional statement. It is a covenant promise, sealed with my own blood. There is no asterisk at the end of that sentence. It does not say, I will never leave you unless you have a season of doubt. It does not say, I will not forsake you unless you make a terrible mistake. It says, never. Your feelings of distance do not and cannot change the facts of my presence. Your perception does not alter my position. I am with you, always. Think of the sun. On a day thick with clouds, you cannot see the sun. You cannot feel its warmth on your skin. To all your senses, it seems as if the sun has disappeared. but has it? No. It is still there, in its place, blazing with all its power, holding the entire solar system in its orbit. It is your perception that is obscured, not the sun's reality. The clouds of your weariness, your fear, your sin, or your sorrow may have temporarily hidden the feeling of my presence, but they have not and cannot remove me. I am still here. So what do we do about this feeling of distance? We do not deny it. It is real to you, and so it matters to me. Instead, we speak truth to it. We let my factual presence overwhelm your temporary feeling of my absence. I want you to use your holy imagination again. I want you to picture that chasm, that great distance you feel between us. See it stretching out before you, a deep and empty canyon. You are on one side, and you feel that I am on the other. Now, I want you to watch. Watch as I, with a single, effortless step, cross that entire chasm. I close the distance. I did this on the cross, tearing the veil that separated humanity from God, and I do it for you now in your heart. I come to you. I stand right in front of you. There is no distance between us anymore. Now, reach out your hand. In your mind, feel your hand reaching out into the emptiness, and feel my hand, strong and warm, taking hold of it. Feel my fingers intertwining with yours. This is the reality. The connection has never been broken. You may have stopped feeling it, but it was never, ever severed. I am holding you right now. Squeeze my hand. Feel me squeeze back. I am here. The feeling of my absence is often just a symptom of your exhaustion. When you are spiritually, emotionally, and physically depleted, your capacity to perceive the subtle realities of the spirit is diminished. It is like trying to taste a delicate flavor when your mouth has been burned. The flavor is still there, but your ability to taste it is impaired. That is why rest is so crucial. Rest is what allows your spiritual senses to heal, to become sensitive again to the presence that has been there all along. So do not strive to feel me tonight. Do not try to work up some great spiritual emotion. That will only exhaust you further. Instead, I want you to simply rest in the fact of my presence. Let the truth of my word be more real to you than the feeling of your own heart. Rest on the promise. I will never leave you. Let that be the pillow upon which you lay your head. As you drift off to sleep, know that I am closing the distance. I am holding your hand. I am breathing my life back into your tired spirit. You may not feel it now, but when you awaken, after a night spent resting in the truth of my nearness, you may just find that the clouds have thinned a little, and you can begin to feel the warmth of the sun once more. You are not far from me. You have never been. I am right here. My precious child, as you rest in this quiet space with me, I want to journey with you now, not to an external place, but inward. I want to gently, lovingly walk with you into the landscape of your own heart. For many who feel lost, the world outside only mirrors the desolation they feel within. And when you look inside your own heart right now, it feels like a wilderness, doesn't it? A vast, lonely, and arid desert. Let's not be afraid to look at it together. I will hold your hand. See the ground of your heart. It is cracked and dry from a long drought of joy, a long season without the rain of true peace. The sun in this inner landscape is a relentless, scorching thing. It is the sun of your anxiety, your self-criticism, your ceaseless striving, and it beats down without mercy, baking the ground until it is hard and unforgiving. The wind that blows here is a biting wind of lonely thoughts, whispering of your isolation, carrying the dust of past regrets into your eyes. Look at the vegetation. There is nothing soft or green. There are only the thorny, twisted bushes of old wounds and bitter memories, their sharp points snagging you whenever you try to move. And in the distance, shimmering on the horizon, are the mirages, the deceptive images of what you think would finally make you happy. The mirage of a different life, of a perfect relationship, of worldly success. You have spent so much energy staggering toward these illusions, only to find them dissolve into empty, hot air, leaving you more thirsty and more lost than before. This is the wilderness within. It is a place of profound spiritual exhaustion, a place where you feel unseen, unfed, and forgotten. Perhaps it was created by a deep disappointment that seemed to suck all the life out of you. Perhaps it was a long season of grief that left you feeling barren. Or perhaps it was simply the slow, creeping burnout of living in a world that takes so much and gives so little true nourishment back to the soul. I see this desert within you. I see its vastness. I feel its heat. I know its loneliness. And my heart is not dismayed. It is filled with a tender, creative compassion. Because I am not just a visitor in your desert. I am a wellspring. I am the source of living water. And I have come to make your desert bloom. I want you to stay very still and watch. This transformation does not begin with a violent, flooding rainstorm that tears at the land. My grace is rarely like that. No, look closer. Right there, in the very center of the driest, most cracked part of your heart, a dark spot of moisture appears on the earth. A single drop of water, and then another. A small, miraculous spring is beginning to bubble up from a source deep beneath the surface. A source you may have forgotten was even there. This is my spirit, who I placed within you. Listen, can you hear it? A new sound in the oppressive silence of your inner world. The soft, gentle, persistent sound of trickling water. It is the sound of hope. It is the sound of my grace beginning to flow. Now watch as this small pool begins to spread. The water is cool, clear, and perfectly pure. It is my very life, my peace, my love, and it begins to flow into the cracks of the dry ground. See the hard-baked earth of your heart begin to soften as it drinks in this living water. The sharp edges of your pain begin to dissolve. The ground becomes supple, dark, and rich once more. And now, something impossible begins to happen. From this newly softened earth, tiny shoots of green are beginning to push their way up toward the light. These are the seeds of my promises, seeds that you thought had long since died, now quickened by my presence. They are pushing through the soil shoots of hope, shoots of faith, shoots of a joy you thought you would never feel again. Look at the thorny bushes of your past hurts. The water is pooling around their roots. It does not rip them out, for they are part of your story. Instead, it causes a soft, verdant moss to grow all around them, covering their sharp thorns, transforming these monuments of pain into soft, green mounds of grace. My grace does not erase your past. It redeems it, making even the most painful places soft to the touch. And the sun, that relentless, scorching sun of anxiety, as the life-giving moisture rises from the ground, a soft, gentle mist fills the air, and this mist diffuses the harsh light. The sun is still there, but it is no longer a burning tormentor. It has become a warm, gentle, life-giving light, encouraging the new growth, bathing your entire inner world in a soft, golden glow. The wilderness is becoming a garden. The desert is becoming an oasis. The oppressive silence has been replaced by the gentle, life-sustaining music of trickling streams. This is what I do, my beloved. I am the one who makes all things new. I am the one who can bring forth rivers in the desert. Your heart was not made to be a barren wasteland. It was made to be a lush garden, a place where my spirit dwells, a place of beauty and peace and life. Tonight, I am beginning this work of restoration. Your only job is to let the waters flow. Do not block the spring with doubt. Do not try to control the streams. Simply lie down here on the new, soft, green grass of your redeemed heart. Feel the cool air. Listen to the water. Rest in the oasis I am creating within you. Let this inner garden be the place you retreat to as you fall into a deep, healing, and transformative sleep. My beloved, now that you are resting in the green, quiet oasis of your own heart, you may feel safe, but the question of the way can still linger. A safe place to rest is a blessing, but the soul longs for direction. The feeling of being lost is fundamentally a problem of navigation. You feel you are holding a map to your life, but when you look at it, it is either completely blank, or it is torn into 1,000 pieces, or it is filled with so many contradictory paths that it only increases your confusion. You stare at this useless map under the harsh light of your own expectations, and panic sets in. You feel you must be able to read it. You feel you must be able to piece it together, to decipher its cryptic symbols, to choose the right path from the infinite, terrifying possibilities. The pressure to be your own cartographer, your own navigator, is immense. It is the source of the frantic, buzzing energy in your mind that keeps you from peace. You are exhausted from trying to be the expert of a journey you have never taken before. Tonight, I want to offer you a profound exchange. I want you to take that torn, confusing, anxiety-producing map, and I want you to let it go. Let the wind take the pieces. Let them dissolve into the stream. Let them burn in the fire of my love. I am not going to give you a new, better, clearer map. Not tonight. A map can still feel overwhelming. A map still places the burden of navigation on you. Instead of a map, I am going to give you something far more precious, far more useful in the fog. I am going to give you a compass. I want you to picture it in your hand. This is not a cheap, plastic thing. It is an ancient and beautiful instrument. The casing is made of strong, warm wood, the wood of my humanity, familiar and sturdy to the touch. It is inlaid with pure, shining gold, the gold of my divinity, holy and incorruptible. The glass that covers the face is crystal clear. Without any distortion, it is the clarity of my truth. And inside, floating in a liquid of perfect peace, is a single, elegant needle. This needle is not made of common metal. It is forged from pure, unconditional love, and it is magnetized by the very heart of the Father. And because of this needle does nothing else but one thing, always and forever, in every circumstance, in every storm, in every darkness. It points north. It points to me. I am your true north. Now, think of the other compasses you have tried to use to navigate your life. There is the compass of worldly success and wealth. Its needle just points to more, leaving you always feeling poor. There is the compass of other people's approval. Its needle swings wildly with every opinion and mood, leaving you dizzy and insecure. There is the compass of comfort and pleasure. Its needle leads you in lazy circles, avoiding all growth, leaving you stagnant and unfulfilled. There is the compass of fear. Its needle spins chaotically, pointing to 1,000 different dangers at once, leaving you paralyzed. These compasses are liars. They are broken, and they have led you into this wilderness. But my compass, the compass of my presence, is different. It is steady. It is true. It does not lie. It doesn't show you the whole journey. It doesn't reveal the destination. It doesn't explain the terrain ahead. It only does one simple, profound, and life-saving thing. It gives you your bearing. It tells you which way is me. So how do you use this compass tonight, as you lie here, longing for rest? Your true north, for this moment, is not a direction on a map. It is a direction of the soul. Your true north is the direction of surrender. It is the direction of trust. It is the direction of peace. It is the direction of rest. Let me be your compass in the chaos of your own mind. When a frantic thought of tomorrow's problems arises, and you feel your heart being pulled toward the direction of anxiety, I want you to gently, lovingly consult the compass. See its needle, your heart's deepest longing, still pointing faithfully toward me, toward peace, and then gently align yourself. Turn your attention away from the anxiety and back toward your true north, which is me. When a wave of regret from the past washes over you, and you feel yourself being pulled in the direction of shame, consult the compass again. See the needle, steady and true, pointing toward me, toward grace. And then align yourself. Let go of the shame and turn your face back toward your true north. This is the simple, moment-by-moment work of navigating the fog. It is a constant, gentle reorientation of your heart toward me. The journey of 1,000 miles is overwhelming. The thought of navigating your whole life is impossible. But the compass only asks you to do one thing. Align yourself for this present moment. Orient yourself toward rest. You do not need the map. You only need the compass. You do not need to know the destination. You only need to know your true north. And I am He. Let the needle of your heart settle now. Let it come to a complete rest, pointing steadily, faithfully, peacefully toward me. This is your direction. This is your peace. This is your way to a deep and tranquil sleep, secure in your bearing, even when the path is unseen. My beloved child, you are holding the compass now. You have found your true north, and the needle of your heart is settling upon me. This is a profound and beautiful relief. But I want to take you even deeper into this mystery of guidance, deeper than the comfort of a compass. For I once made a statement to my friends that was so radical, so audacious, that it has puzzled and comforted lost souls for 2,000 years. And I want to speak it over you tonight as the ultimate answer to your feeling of being lost. My dear friend Thomas, a man much like you, a man who needed certainty in a world of confusion, asked me a very practical question. He said, "Lord, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way?" He was asking for a map. He was asking for a set of directions, a spiritual formula, a clear-cut path to follow. He was asking the very question that your own heart is screaming tonight. How can I know the way? And my answer to him is my answer to you. I did not give him a map. I did not give him a list of rules. I did not give him a geographical coordinate. I looked at him with all the love in my heart, and I gave him a revelation that changes everything. I said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Let us stay with that first, most crucial part of the statement for you tonight. I am the way. Please, my child, hear this. I did not say, I will show you the way. I did not say, I will give you a map of the way. I said, I am the way. The path out of your lostness is not a set of principles you must follow. It is not a moral code you must perfectly adhere to. It is not a destination you must strive to reach. The way is a person. The way is me. This truth should lift an immense burden from your weary shoulders. You have been exhausting yourself trying to find the right path, as if it was something separate from you that you had to discover through great effort. You have been peering into the fog, looking for a trail on the ground. But I am inviting you to stop looking for a path and to start looking at me. The journey and the destination are one and the same. To be with me is to be on the way. What does this mean for you, practically, as you lie here tonight, your mind still swirling with confusion? It means that your primary task is not to figure out your career path, or your relationship path, or your financial path. Your primary task is to cultivate your connection with me. It is to abide. It is to remain in me, the vine. It is to walk with me, yoked together. Because if you are walking with me, you are, by definition, on the right path, even if you have no idea where we are going. Think of it this way. Imagine you are in a dense, trackless jungle. You are lost, terrified, and surrounded by dangers. Then a master guide appears. He knows this jungle like the back of his hand. He says, I will get you through safely. From that moment on, what is your primary concern? Is it studying the patterns of the moss on the trees? Is it trying to navigate by the sun, which you cannot see through the thick canopy? Is it trying to remember which direction you came from? No. Your one and only concern, the single thing that guarantees your safety and your arrival at the clearing, is to stay as close to the guide as possible. You follow his every footstep. You listen for his voice. His presence becomes your entire orientation. As long as you are with him, you are no longer truly lost. You are on the way. I am that guide in the jungle of your confusion. Stop trying to be your own guide. Stop exhausting yourself with your own amateur navigation. Your job is so much simpler, so much more restful. Your job is to stay close to me. How do you do that? You are doing it right now. You do it by quieting the other voices and listening to mine. You do it by breathing in my presence and breathing out your fear. You do it by choosing to trust my character when you cannot see my plan. You do it by surrendering your need for control and resting in my sovereign care. Every act of trust, every moment of surrender, every quiet breath of prayer is another step you take, not on the way, but in the way. The pressure is off. You don't have to find the path. The path has found you. You don't have to earn your way back to safety. The way has come to you and is sitting with you in your place of lostness. You can rest now. You can stop your frantic search. You are already in the right place because you are with me, and I am the way. This truth is the ultimate ground beneath your feet, the ultimate light in the fog. To be in relationship with me is to be headed in the right direction, always. There is no other way. There is no other truth. There is no other life. There is only me. Settle into this profound reality. Let it be the firmest foundation you have ever known. You are with me, and therefore you are on the way. Sleep now, not like a lost traveler, but like a beloved companion on a journey with a trusted guide who knows the path home perfectly. My dear one, you are resting now in the beautiful, liberating truth that I am your way. But even when the guide is right beside you, The wilderness can still feel intimidating. The silence of the desert can be profound. And you may wonder, how will I hear you? How will I know which way to turn when a choice must be made? How can I follow your footsteps if I cannot hear your voice? This is a tender and important question. It is the question of a sheep who longs to stay close to its shepherd. I want to remind you of my history. My story is filled with me speaking in the wilderness. It was in the wilderness that I gave my law to Moses. It was in the wilderness that I fed Elijah and spoke to him in a gentle whisper. It was in the wilderness that my cousin, John the Baptist, came as a voice crying out, preparing the way for me. And it was in the wilderness of your own lost heart that I first came and spoke my grace to you. The wilderness is not a place where I am silent. It is often the place where I speak most clearly, because all the other distractions have finally been stripped away. You must understand, however, the nature of my voice. In your desperation, you may be listening for a thunderclap, a booming announcement from the heavens, a divine shout that will obliterate all your confusion with its sheer volume. But that is rarely how I lead my beloved sheep. A good shepherd does not scream at his flock from a distance. He walks among them, and he speaks with a familiar, calming, and personal tone. My voice in your wilderness is not a shout you must strain to hear from afar. It is a whisper meant for your heart alone. I want you to picture yourself back in that inner desert we visited. But now, it is not a place of scorching heat, but of a cool, twilight stillness. You are sitting by the small, miraculous spring of my spirit, and the new, green grass is soft beneath you, and I am sitting beside you. I am not shouting directions from a faraway mountaintop. I am right here. When I speak, it is often not with audible words, but with a language deeper than sound. I speak to you in the language of peace. When you are faced with a decision and you are weighing the options, one path may lead to a feeling of frantic, anxious, striving energy. It feels like you have to make it happen, to force it. The other path, when you consider it, leads to a quiet, internal sense of rightness, a calm, an unclenching in your soul. That feeling of peace, that gentle yes in your spirit, is my voice. It is my whisper saying, this is the way, walk in it. I speak to you in the language of Scripture. My word is a living thing. You may have read a passage 100 times, but in your wilderness season, you read it again, and suddenly a verse seems to leap off the page. It shines with a light you have never seen before. It feels as though it was written for this very moment, for your exact situation. It brings comfort, or conviction, or clarity. That sudden, personal illumination of my word is my voice, speaking directly to your need. It is me, reminding you of the compass of my truth. I speak to you in the language of desire, not the fleeting, selfish desires of your flesh, but the deep, holy, God-given desires of your new heart. What are the things that make your spirit feel most alive, most aligned with how I created you? What activities, what ways of being, bring you a sense of deep, authentic joy and purpose? Often, the path I have for you is not a path of grim, joyless duty. It is a path that aligns with the deepest and truest desires that I myself have planted within your soul. When you feel a holy desire pulling you toward acts of love, of creativity, of service, of worship, that is often my voice, guiding you through the very fabric of who you are. And I speak to you in the language of confirmation. I am not a God of confusion. If I am leading you in a certain direction, I will often confirm it through other means. It might be the wise and godly counsel of a trusted friend. It might be a series of seemingly coincidental circumstances that all seem to point in the same direction. It might be a door of opportunity that swings open effortlessly, while another door remains firmly, stubbornly shut, no matter how hard you push. When you see peace, my word, your holy desires, and your circumstances beginning to align and harmonize, that is my voice singing a chord of confirmation in your life. Tonight, you do not need to hear my entire symphony. You do not need a detailed plan. You simply need to become attuned, once again, to the sound of my whisper. And the best way to do that is to rest, to quiet your own inner noise, to trust that I am speaking, even when you cannot yet discern the words. So as you drift into sleep, let this be your prayer. Shepherd, speak. Your servant is listening. Do not strain to hear. Just open your heart. Trust that I am communicating with you in ways deeper than your conscious mind can grasp. Trust that even in your sleep, I am calibrating your spirit to my frequency. You will hear me, you will know my voice, and I will lead you out of this wilderness, not with a shout, but with a loving, irresistible whisper that calls you by name and leads you, step by step, all the way home. My beloved child, we have spoken of the way, and we have spoken of my voice in the wilderness. Now I want to shift your perspective entirely with a truth that is designed to bring the most profound rest to your lost and weary soul. For so long, you have been operating under a heavy, unspoken assumption. You have believed that the responsibility for being found rests entirely on you. In your mind, it has been your job to search, to strive, to listen perfectly, to take the right steps, to navigate your way back to me. You have been carrying the full weight of your own rescue. It feels like you are a lost child in a vast, dark forest, and you believe that everything depends on your ability to be clever enough, strong enough, and good enough to find your way back home. This belief is the very source of your panic and your exhaustion. The pressure is immense, and it is a burden you were never, ever meant to carry. So tonight, I want to tell you a story. It is a story I told to a crowd of people once, people who, like you, felt lost and forgotten. I said, "What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he has lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in the open country and go after the one that is lost until he finds it?" I want you to place yourself in this story. You are that one sheep. You are not just one among a nameless flock. You are known, you are counted, and your absence has been noticed. The 99 are safe, but the shepherd's heart is not at rest, because one of his precious own is missing, you. Now, pay very close attention to the verbs in this story, to where the action is. Does the story say that the lost sheep must find its way back to the fold? Does it say the sheep must climb the highest mountain and bleat loudly enough for the shepherd to hear? Does it say the sheep must navigate the treacherous ravines and fend off the wolves until it stumbles back to safety? No, it says none of those things. All the action, all the responsibility, all the movement belongs to one person, the shepherd. It is the shepherd who notices one is missing. It is the shepherd who makes the decision to go. It is the shepherd who leaves the safety of the 99. It is the shepherd who goes after the lost one. It is the shepherd who searches, who climbs, who calls, who perseveres. The story is not about the effort of the lost sheep. It is about the relentless, pursuing, passionate love of the Good Shepherd. And what is the sheep's role in this story? The sheep's role is simply to be lost. The sheep's job is to be weak, to be vulnerable, to be unable to save itself. Its helplessness is the very thing that initiates the shepherd's rescue mission. Your feeling of being lost, your weakness, your inability to find the way on your own, these things do not disqualify you from my love. They are the very things that activate the deepest parts of my shepherd's heart. I am that shepherd, and I am seeking you. This is the truth that changes everything. You can stop your frantic, exhausted searching for me, because I am already actively searching for you. While you have been running in circles in the fog, I have been walking in a straight line toward the sound of your frightened heart. While you have been looking for a path, I have been looking for you. The responsibility for the rescue is not, and has never been, yours. It is mine. And what happens when the shepherd finds the sheep? The story says, and when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. Notice what he does not do. He does not scold the sheep. He does not say, "You foolish creature, how could you wander off? You have caused me so much trouble." There is no condemnation. There is no lecture. There is only joy. The shepherd's heart rejoices. The search is over. His beloved has been found. And notice this too. He does not put a leash on the sheep and command it to walk back on its own tired legs. No, the sheep is exhausted from being lost. It is weak and trembling. So the shepherd, in his great tenderness, stoops down and he himself lifts the sheep. He lays it across his own strong shoulders. The sheep does not have to take another step. The rest of the journey home is one of being carried. The sheep's only job now is to surrender, to relax into the strength of the shepherd, to feel the gentle rhythm of his gait, and to rest its weary head against his neck. This is the picture I want you to fall asleep with tonight. You are this sheep. You are weary, you are lost, and I, your good shepherd, have found you. I am not angry, I am rejoicing. My heart is filled with joy that we are together again, and now I am stooping down to lift you. Let go of your own weight, let me take it. Feel yourself being lifted up, out of the thorny bushes, out of the cold mud, and onto the safety and warmth of my shoulders. The journey home from here is not your responsibility. I will carry you. You do not need to know the way. You only need to know the shepherd who is carrying you. You can let go of everything now. The striving, the searching, the fear. It's over. You are found, and you will be carried home. Rest now, my precious, long sought after sheep. Rest on my shoulders. My child, as you rest on my shoulders, being carried, I want to address a very subtle and destructive lie that often accompanies the feeling of being lost. It is the belief that you have become a problem for yourself, a problem for others, and even a problem for me. When you feel lost, it is easy to start seeing yourself as a broken thing, a faulty piece of machinery, a complex, frustrating puzzle with a missing piece. Your life feels like a mathematical equation that you just cannot solve, and you think that I must look at you with the same frustration. As a cosmic technician looking at a malfunctioning appliance, you think my primary disposition toward you in this season is one of disappointment, of impatience, as I try to fix you, the problem child. This belief is a heavy, dehumanizing burden. It strips you of your dignity and your identity. It reduces you from a beloved person to a complex project. It makes you feel like your value is dependent on you being solved, on you getting your life back on track, and it can make you hide from me, ashamed of your own brokenness. not wanting to present me with such a difficult and frustrating problem to deal with. Oh, my beloved, I need you to hear this deep in your spirit, to let it dismantle that lie completely. You are not a problem to be solved. You have never been a problem to be solved. You are a person to be loved. When I look at you, I do not see a complicated equation. I see my child. I do not see a faulty machine. I see the beautiful, intricate work of my own hands. I do not see a frustrating puzzle. I see a person created in my own image, a person for whom I was willing to leave the glories of heaven and walk the dusty roads of this earth. Your lostness does not define you in my eyes. It is a temporary condition, a season you are passing through. It does not, and cannot, change your fundamental identity as my dearly loved child. My disposition toward you is not one of frustration or impatience. It is one of profound, unwavering, and tender compassion. I look at you in your confusion, and my heart is moved, just as it was moved when I saw the great crowds who were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. My reaction is not to get out a toolbox. My reaction is to open my arms. You are not a project I am working on. You are the bride for whom I gave my life. Think of the difference. A mechanic working on a broken car might get frustrated, might kick the tires, might curse the complexity of the engine. But a bridegroom, preparing for his bride, does so with joy, with anticipation, with lavish love and attention to every detail, not because she is a problem, but because she is his delight. My work in your life is not the frustrated work of a mechanic. It is the joyful, loving work of a bridegroom, preparing you, healing you, and making you ready for our eternal celebration. When you came to me, you came with all your parts, the beautiful parts and the broken parts, the orderly parts and the messy parts, and I accepted all of it. I did not say, I will love you once you get this lostness problem sorted out. I said, I love you, period. Now, let's walk through this season of lostness together. Letting go of this lithe lie that you are a problem is essential for your rest. As long as you see yourself as a problem, you will be trying to fix yourself. You will be analyzing your own data, running diagnostics on your own soul, and striving to present a less problematic version of yourself to me. This is exhausting work, and it is entirely unnecessary. So I invite you tonight to resign from the position of being your own mechanic. You are fired from the job of solving yourself. Your only job is to be loved. Your only task is to be held. Your only work is to rest in your identity as my cherished child. In your mind, I want you to take that label, the label that says problem, or broken, or project, and I want you to peel it off of your heart, see it in your hand, and then watch as I take it from you and cast it into the fire of my love, where it is consumed completely, turning to ash, for it was never true. And in its place, I place a new name upon your heart, a name that is written in light, a name that is your eternal reality, and that name is beloved. You are not a problem. You are my beloved. You are not a mess. You are my masterpiece, currently walking through a foggy valley. You are not a failure. You are my faithful child who is tired and needs to be carried for a while. Let this truth sink deep into you. Let it soothe the shame. Let it quiet the striving. You are not a problem to me. You are a privilege. It is my joy to love you. It is my honor to guide you, and it is my delight to carry you home. Rest in that love now. Rest in who you truly are, my beloved child, Now that you are resting in the truth that you are a person to be loved, not a problem to be solved, let's return to the practical feeling of standing in the fog. Even with the shepherd carrying you, your human mind still craves a sense of progress, a glimpse of the path. The fear of the unknown can still whisper to you. You long for a grand, divine revelation, a heavenly blueprint for the next 5 years of your life, unfurled before you in radiant detail. You believe that if you just had the whole map, you could finally relax. But I want you to consider something. If I were to show you the entire journey right now, every steep climb, every rocky valley, every river you must cross, every long, arduous mile, would it truly bring you peace? Or would the sheer scale of it overwhelm you? Would the knowledge of future trials rob you of the peace of this present moment? I know your heart. I know how I designed you. You were not created to carry the emotional weight of your entire life's journey all at once. You were created to live one day, one moment, one step at a time. My grace is given to you in daily portions, not in a lifetime supply. This is why I rarely give a detailed map. Instead, I give you something far more intimate and far more useful in the fog. I give you a lantern. My word says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Let's linger on that image, for it is filled with profound wisdom and peace for your lost soul. Notice the scale of the light. It does not say, your word is a stadium floodlight that illuminates the entire country. It does not say, your word is a satellite imaging system that shows you every possible route. It says it is a lamp for your feet. It is a light for your path. The original image is of a small clay oil lamp, perhaps strapped to a sandal or held low to the ground. Its purpose was not to reveal the distant horizon. Its purpose was to give just enough light to see where to place your next footsteps safely. Just one step. This is the nature of my guidance. It is often a guidance of one next step. I am not withholding the grand plan from you to be cruel or mysterious. I am giving you the guidance you need in the form that is most helpful and least overwhelming for you. I am protecting you from a knowledge that you are not yet equipped to carry. I am inviting you into a life of moment-by-moment dependence on me, which is the only place true peace can be found. The world screams at you to have a 5-year plan, to know your destination, to have everything mapped out. That is the world's wisdom, and it leads to anxiety and the illusion of control. My wisdom is different. My wisdom says, do not worry about tomorrow. Focus only on today. Focus only on the next step of obedience, the next step of trust, the next step of love. So, what is the one next step for you tonight? As you lie here, feeling lost and overwhelmed by the sheer number of choices and possibilities before you, let's forget about the staircase. Let's not even think about the second or third step. Let's just focus on the very next one. What does the small circle of light from my lantern illuminate for you right now? Perhaps the one next step is simply to unclench your jaw. The light is on that. Do it. Feel the release. You have taken a successful step in the right direction. Perhaps the one next step is to forgive someone in your heart who has hurt you, releasing the heavy burden of bitterness you have been carrying. The light is on that. Do it. Whisper their name and release them to me. You have taken another powerful step toward home. Perhaps the one next step is to let go of a specific worry that has been circling in your mind. A worry about your health, your children, your finances. The light is on that. Hand that specific worry to me, calling it by name. You have taken a step out of the darkness of anxiety and into the light of trust. Perhaps the one next step is to simply say, I trust you, even when you don't feel it. Faith is a choice before it is a feeling. The light is on that choice. Whisper the words, Jesus, I choose to trust you with this. You have taken a giant leap onto the solid ground of my faithfulness. And perhaps the most important and wisest one, next step for you in this moment, is the step into total rest. The most faithful thing you can do right now is to obey the gentle leading of your weary body and surrender to sleep. The lantern is illuminating your pillow. It is showing you that the path to peace tonight leads directly through the land of slumber. You do not need to solve your life tonight. You do not need to find your ultimate calling or your grand purpose. You only need to take this one simple, illuminated step. Trust me with all the steps that are still in the darkness. When it is time for you to take them, I promise, the light will move. My lamp will be there, showing you where to place your foot. So release the pressure to see everything. Settle for the profound peace of seeing just one thing, the next step of trust. Let my voice be your light. Let my presence be your lamp. And let your one next step be a gentle, peaceful, trusting surrender into the deep, restorative sleep I have for you. I will watch the path for you while you rest. My precious one, we have talked about taking just one next step. Now, I want to shrink your focus even more, to bring you to a place of such profound simplicity that your anxious, overwhelmed soul can finally find a foothold. The feeling of being lost is a disease of the macro. You are looking at the vast, terrifying whole of your life, the whole of your future, the whole of your confusion, and it is crushing you. The antidote is to be found in the micro. It is found in the sacred, healing power of the present moment. I am not the God of someday. I am not the God of yesterday. The name I revealed to Moses, my most holy and personal name, is I am. Not I was or I will be, I am. My power, my presence, and my peace are only ever found in the is, in the now. And this is where I invite you to live with me tonight, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. Your mind is a time traveler. It is constantly hurtling you into a future that does not exist, a future filled with imaginary scenarios and potential problems. Or it is dragging you back into a past that cannot be changed, a past filled with regrets and old wounds. And you are rarely ever here, in the only place where life is actually happening. This time traveling is the source of so much of your pain. Anxiety lives in the future. Depression and regret live in the past. But peace, my peace, lives only and always in the present moment. So let's practice coming home to the now. Let's bring your scattered, time-traveling mind back to the simplicity of what is real in this single, sacred moment. I want you to bring your awareness to your body. What are you feeling right now? Not 5 minutes ago, not what you might feel in an hour. Right now, feel the weight of your body on the bed. Feel the texture of the blankets against your skin. Feel the temperature of the air in the room. This is real. This is now. Anchor yourself in these simple, physical sensations. They are a lifeline, pulling you out of the turbulent sea of your thoughts and into the safety of the present. Now, let's return to the breath, for it is the most powerful anchor of all. Your breath is always in the present. You cannot breathe yesterday's breath, and you cannot breathe tomorrow's. You can only breathe the breath of this one single moment. Let's take one breath together, not a series of breaths, just one. Let's make this single breath the most important thing in your universe for the next few seconds. Inhale slowly, feel the air, this gift of life, entering your body. Feel the expansion. Now, exhale slowly. Feel the release, the letting go. That's it. You have just lived one moment perfectly. You have just been completely present with me. And in that one moment, were you lost? In that one moment, were you overwhelmed? No. In that one moment, there was only the breath. There was only peace. This is the secret. You do not have to find the strength to live the rest of your life. You do not even have to find the strength to get through the whole night. You only have to find the strength to get through this one breath, and then the next one, and then the one after that. When the overwhelming thought, "How will I ever figure out my life?" comes to you, I want you to gently set it aside and bring your focus back to the micro, back to the one breath. I don't have to figure out my life. You can whisper to yourself, I only have to take this next breath. When the panicked feeling, I am so lost and alone, sweeps over you, bring your focus back. Back to the one moment. In this single moment, as I feel the bed supporting me, as I feel the air entering my lungs, I am not lost. I am here, and Jesus is here with me. This is not a denial of your problems. It is a refusal to be tyrannized by them. It is a conscious choice to live where life is actually happening, which is right here. I once told my followers not to worry about what they would eat or what they would wear. I told them to look at the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. What is the wisdom of the birds and the lilies? It is that they live completely in the present moment. A lily is not anxious about whether it will have enough sunlight next week. A bird is not worried about where it will find a worm tomorrow. They exist beautifully and simply in the now of the Father's care. And I tell you, you are so much more valuable than they are. Living one moment at a time, one breath at a time, is the ultimate act of trust. It is saying, I trust that when the next moment comes, your grace will be there to meet me. I trust that when the next breath is needed, the air will be there for me to breathe. I don't have to live in the future. I can trust you to handle the future. I will stay here with you in the now. So, as you prepare to fall asleep, let go of the grand narrative of your life. Let go of the long, complicated timeline. Let your entire universe shrink until it is only the size of this one single precious moment and this one single precious breath. Breathe in my presence. Breathe out your striving. Stay here. This is the place where you are not lost. This is the place where you are found. This is the place where you can finally, truly rest. My beloved child, as you rest here in the simplicity of this present moment, this one sacred breath, I want to give you something solid to hold on to, something to navigate by when the fog of confusion is at its thickest, when you are lost at sea and the clouds have covered the moon and the stars. A sailor's last hope is his chart and his knowledge of the heavens. He trusts that even though he cannot see them, the stars are still in their fixed places. He trusts that their positions are reliable, unchanging. For the lost soul, my promises are those fixed stars. Your feelings may change like the shifting tides. Your circumstances may be as unpredictable as the weather. The voices of the world may blow like confusing winds from every direction. But my promises are constant. They are eternal. They are more real and more reliable than your own feelings or your own perceptions. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. They are your fixed points in a spinning universe. Finding your bearings when you are lost is the act of anchoring your soul not to what you see or feel, but to what I have said. Tonight, let us quiet your heart by gazing at a few of these stars. Let their steady, ancient light pierce through the fog of your anxiety and bring a deep and settled peace to your spirit. First, let us look at the star of my presence. I have promised, with a divine and unbreakable oath, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Dwell on this promise. It is not conditional. It does not depend on your performance. It does not depend on you feeling close to me. It is a statement of fact, based entirely on my character as a faithful God. When you feel most alone, when you feel you are adrift in a silent, empty ocean, this star shines with a steady light. You can point the compass of your heart toward it and say, I may feel alone, but God has promised He is with me. I will trust His promise over my feeling. Let the light of that promise be your companion tonight. You are not alone. It is an impossibility. I am with you. Now, let us find the star of my provision. I have promised. My God will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Your lostness is often tied to a deep fear of lack. Lack of strength, lack of wisdom, lack of resources, lack of a future. This fear makes you scramble and strive, trying to secure your own provisions from a place of panic. But look at this star. Its light is rich and golden. It promises that your needs will be met, not according to the poverty of your own resources, but according to the infinite, inexhaustible riches of heaven itself. When you are worried about tomorrow, when you wonder how you will get through, fix your gaze on this star. Whisper its truth. I may feel like I have nothing, but my God has promised to supply all my needs. His riches are my resource. Let the light of that promise bring rest to your striving heart tonight. Your needs will be met. I have given my word on it. Next, let us gaze upon the star of my purpose. I have promised. We know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. This is perhaps the brightest star in the sky for a lost soul. It means that your current state of confusion, this season of being in the fog, is not a meaningless accident. It is not a cosmic mistake. In my divine sovereign plan, even this painful, disorienting, wearying experiences being woven into a pattern for your ultimate good. I am not wasting this wilderness. I am using it to make you stronger, to deepen your faith, to strip away your idols, to draw you closer to my heart. When you feel that your life is off track and has lost all meaning, look to this brilliant star. Anchor yourself to its profound truth. This feels chaotic and pointless, but God has promised He is working all of this together for my good. This is part of my story, not the end of it. Let the light of that promise bring meaning to your struggle and hope to your heart. And finally, let us look to the great, blazing pole star of my love. The Apostle Paul, inspired by my spirit, declared this unbreakable promise. I am sure that neither death nor life, nor angels nor rulers, nor things present nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. This is the star that holds the entire constellation of your life together. Your feeling of being lost cannot separate you from my love. Your mistakes cannot separate you from my love. Your doubts, your fears, your confusion, nothing can separate you from my love. It is the most fundamental and unchangeable reality of your existence. Tonight, I do not want you to just think about these promises. I want you to rest in them. Imagine yourself lying on a soft blanket under a vast clear desert sky. The air is cool and clean, and these promises are the stars shining down on you. Let their light be the only light you see. Let their steady, silent, eternal truth be the atmosphere you breathe. The fog of your feelings may still be swirling around you, but above the fog, the stars of my promises have not moved. They are there, they are true, and they are yours. Find your bearings in them now, and let them guide you into a sleep that is secure, steady, and profoundly at peace. My dear one, your instinct, when you feel lost, is to move. It is a primal, panicked impulse. You feel you must do something, go somewhere, take some action, any action, to escape the unbearable feeling of being adrift. You pace in your mind. You run through endless scenarios. You make lists. You try to force a solution. This frantic inner movement, this desperate striving, only stirs up the silt of your confusion, making the waters of your soul even murkier. It churns your anxiety and exhausts your spirit, making it impossible for you to hear my gentle guidance. But tonight, I want to teach you a counterintuitive and sacred truth. True direction is almost never found in frantic motion. It is found in stillness. The clarity you seek, the path you long for, the peace your soul craves, it is all waiting for you. Not in the next flurry of activity, but in the deep, intentional, and courageous act of becoming still. I once told my people, through the words of the psalmist, a simple and profound command: be still and know that I am God. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is the core instruction for a soul in turmoil. Let's break down this divine prescription. Be still. The Hebrew word here is rapha. It means to let go, to be weak, to slacken, to release. It is the image of unclenching a fist that has been clenched so tightly for so long that the knuckles are white. It is the feeling of a warrior finally putting down his heavy sword and shield after a long and brutal battle. It is an active surrender. It is a conscious choice to cease your own efforts. It means to stop fighting, to stop struggling against your circumstances, to stop wrestling with your own thoughts, to stop trying to force open the doors of the future. It means to simply, intentionally stop. And what happens when you obey this command to be still? The second part of the verse tells you, and know that I am God. It is in the stillness, and only in the stillness, that a certain kind of knowing becomes possible. This is not an intellectual knowing, not the gathering of facts and data. This is a deep, intuitive, heart-level knowing. It is a remembrance of who is ultimately in control. When you are still, you can finally feel the solid ground of my sovereignty beneath you. When your own frantic movements cease, you can begin to perceive my steady, powerful, and loving movement in your life. When your own inner shouting stops, you can begin to hear my whisper. In the stillness, you stop focusing on the magnitude of your lostness, and you begin to perceive the magnitude of your God. You remember that I am the one who holds the universe together, who sets the stars in their courses, who knows the end from the beginning. And in the light of my infinite capability, your temporary confusion finds its proper, smaller perspective. So let us practice this holy stillness together, right now. This is not an empty, vacant state. It is a full, attentive, and peaceful state. I want you to bring your awareness back to your body, lying here, and I want you to intentionally command it to be still. Let your body be heavy on the bed. Release the fidgets in your hands and feet. Let go of the tension in your legs and arms. Let your body become like a calm, still lake, its surface smooth and glassy. Now, bring that same command to your mind. See the frantic, swirling thoughts like a flurry of snow in a snow globe. And watch as you gently, lovingly, stop shaking the globe. Let the snowflakes of thought begin to drift down, slowly, peacefully, settling on the bottom, leaving the water clear. You are not forcing the thoughts away. You are simply ceasing the inner agitation that keeps them stirred up. You are letting them be still. Finally, bring that command to your spirit. Your spirit has been striving, grasping, reaching for answers and for control. Now, tell it to be still. Tell it to unclench its fist. Tell it to rest in the finished work of my grace. Your spirit does not have to earn its peace. It does not have to achieve a state of enlightenment. It only needs to be still and to receive the presence of the one who loves it. Stay in this stillness for a while. It may feel unfamiliar, even a little uncomfortable at first, because you are so accustomed to the noise and the motion, but stay with it. This stillness is the most productive thing you can do tonight. It is in this quiet clearing that clarity will eventually dawn. It is in this calm harbor that your soul will find its true bearings. It is in this holy hush that you will come to know, in a way that is deeper than words, that I am God, and that you are my beloved child, held safely and securely in my hands. True direction is born out of this stillness. Let go of the need to find the way. Simply be still, and let the way find you. Rest in this deep, healing, powerful stillness now. My beloved child, as you rest in this deep, profound stillness, I want to offer you another image, another truth to hold on to. For even when you choose to be still, the lingering effects of your confusion can still feel like a great, turbulent sea around you. The stillness is within you, but the world, and even your own memory, can create the sensation of being tossed by violent, unpredictable waves. A sudden wave of fear might crash over you. A wave of doubt might threaten to pull you under. A wave of overwhelming sorrow might lift you up and slam you down again. In these moments, it feels impossible to remain still. It feels like you will be broken apart by the sheer force of the emotional tempest. In such a sea, a ship needs more than a calm captain. It needs an anchor. A good anchor does not stop the storm. It does not calm the waves. What it does is hold the ship fast to something solid and unseen, deep beneath the turmoil. It keeps the ship from being dashed against the rocks or carried away into the dangerous, open ocean. The ship on the surface may still rock and sway. It may be battered by wind and rain, but its position is secure. It is held. Tonight, I want to be that anchor for your soul. The author of the letter to the Hebrews wrote of this very thing. He said that we have a hope that serves as a sure and steadfast anchor of the soul. This hope is not a flimsy, sentimental wish. It is a powerful, spiritual reality. It is the absolute certainty of my faithfulness, my love, and my sovereign control over all things. This hope, this anchor, passes through the turbulent waters of your present circumstances and lodges itself firmly into the bedrock of heaven itself, into my very unchanging nature. Let's feel this anchor taking hold right now. I want you to picture your soul as that small boat on the stormy sea of your confusion. The waves are high. The wind is howling with the voices of your fear and uncertainty. The sky is dark. You feel small, vulnerable, and completely at the mercy of the elements. You are being tossed violently, and you are terrified. This is the state of your heart when you are overwhelmed by your feeling of being lost. Now, see me in the boat with you. I am not frantic. I am not afraid. I am calm. I look at you with love and compassion, and then I walk to the bow of your little boat. In my hands, I am holding a great, heavy anchor. It is forged not of iron, but of my promises. It is shaped not by a blacksmith, but by my eternal covenantal love for you. I want you to watch as I lift this anchor, and then, with a mighty but gentle motion, I cast it overboard. Listen to the sound. First, the splash as it enters the turbulent water, and then the sound of the great chain of my faithfulness unspooling, link by link by link, descending from the boat. It is a sound of hope, a sound of security, a sound of connection being made to something solid and true. The anchor is plunging down, deeper and deeper. It goes past the churning, angry surface waves, the waves of your immediate panic and anxiety. It sinks deeper, past the strong, confusing undercurrents, the currents of other people's opinions and your own conflicting desires. It continues its descent, down into the dark, silent, cold depths, the depths of your oldest fears, your deepest sorrows, your most profound sense of loneliness, and just when it seems it will fall forever into an endless abyss, it lands. It lands with a solid, reverberating, final thud. It has struck bedrock. It has found the unshakable, unmovable ground of my sovereign will and my unchanging character. The flukes of the anchor, the sharp points, dig in deep, lodging themselves into the rock of ages, into the very truth of who I am. Now, back on the surface, your little boat is still in the storm. The wind may still howl. The rain may still fall. The waves of emotion may still lift you up and let you down. But something has fundamentally changed. You are no longer adrift. You are no longer at the mercy of the storm. You are anchored. You are held. The storm can rage, but it cannot move you from your place of safety. It cannot dash you against the rocks of despair. It cannot carry you out into the ocean of hopelessness. This is the peace I offer you tonight. It is not necessarily the peace of a calm sea, but the profound, unshakable peace of a securely anchored boat. Your circumstances may not change overnight. The fog may not lift immediately. The feelings of confusion may still try to wash over you. But you can rest, even in the midst of the rocking, because you know that deep beneath the surface, your soul is held fast by an unbreakable connection to me. So let the waves come. When a wave of fear crashes over the bow, you can say, "You can rock me, but you cannot move me. I am anchored." When a great swell of doubt lifts you up, you can whisper, "You can scare me, but you cannot sink me. I am anchored." When the wind howls a lonely, desolate song, you can reply in your spirit. You can be loud, but you cannot sever the chain. I am anchored to my God. Let the gentle rocking of the anchored boat be a lullaby to you tonight. Let the strain on the anchor chain be a constant reminder of the faithfulness that is holding you. You are secure, you are steadfast, you are safe. The storm will eventually pass, the winds will die down, the waves will calm. But until they do, you are anchored. Rest now, my child. Rest in the deep, abiding security of the anchored soul. My precious child, as you rest in the security of this anchor, held fast in the storm of your confusion. There is one last, cold whisper of the wilderness I want to silence forever. It is perhaps the most painful feeling of all for a soul who feels lost. It is the feeling of being forgotten, of being anonymous. When you are lost in the fog, when you are adrift on the vast sea, you can begin to feel incredibly small and insignificant. You look at the vastness of the universe, the billions of other people with their own lives and their own needs, and you think, how could God possibly be mindful of me? I am just one tiny, lost sheep among billions. I am a single grain of sand on an infinite shoreline. Surely, in the grand scheme of things, my small, confused life has been overlooked. Surely, He has forgotten my name. This feeling of being forgotten, of being anonymous, is a direct assault on your identity as my child. It seeks to erase your personhood and reduce you to a statistic. It is a lie forged in the deepest pit of hell, because nothing could be further from the truth of my heart for you. Tonight, I want you to hear me. I want my voice to be the sound that affirms your name, your significance, your unforgettable place in my heart. I have not forgotten you. It is a cosmic impossibility. I am the God who spoke the galaxies into existence. I am the shepherd who knows every star in the heavens and calls them each by name. The stars you see, Sirius and Polaris and Betelgeuse, are not just burning balls of gas to me. They have names. They have a place in my cosmic symphony. And I tell you this truth, you are infinitely more precious to me than the most brilliant star in the sky. If I have not forgotten their names, how could I possibly forget yours? The prophet Isaiah, speaking my own words, declared this promise to a people who felt forgotten and abandoned. He said, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." I want you to pause and receive the staggering intimacy of that image. I have not just written your name in a book from which it could be erased. I have engraved it. An engraving is permanent. It is carved into the very substance of a thing. And where have I carved your name? On the palms of my hands. Look at your own hands for a moment. They are always with you. They are what you use to interact with the world. You see them 100 times a day. My child, your name is written on the palms of my hands. Every time I open my hands to create, to sustain, to bless, I see your name. Every time I reach out to heal, to comfort, to save, I see you. You are a constant, permanent, and indelible part of me. The scars of the nails that held me to the cross are now the setting for the engraving of your name. Your name is written forever in the very marks of my eternal love for you. How could I ever forget you? You are literally part of me. So tonight, I want to reclaim your name from the anonymity of being lost. I want you to hear me speak it. In the quiet of your own heart, listen. I am whispering your name. That is your name. It is the name I knew before I laid the foundations of the earth. It is the name that was on my heart when I went to the cross. It is the name that is spoken with love and affection in the courts of heaven. You are not a number. You are not a case file. You are not the lost one. You are my beloved. Let the sound of your own name, spoken by my love, be the sweetest music you have ever heard. Let it push back the cold lie that you are forgotten. Let it affirm your unique, unrepeatable, and precious identity. You are not insignificant. You are so significant that the Good Shepherd would leave the 99 to come and find you, calling your name through the wilderness. You are not overlooked. You are the one whose name is engraved on the hands of God. So as you drift into sleep, let this be the truth that holds you. You are not a nameless soul adrift on a dark sea. You are Listener's name, and your name is known, spoken, and cherished by the King of the universe. You have not been, and you will never be, forgotten. I remember you, I see you, I know you, and I love you. Rest now, my beloved. Rest in the deep, profound peace of being known by name. My beloved child, whose name is engraved upon my hands, as you rest in the certainty of being known and remembered, let us address the very heart of what it means to be lost. At its core, to be lost is to be homeless. It is the ache of displacement. It is the feeling of having no safe place to return to, no door to knock on where you know you will be welcomed, no hearth to warm yourself by. Your soul was created for a home, a place of perfect belonging, security, and love. And when you feel lost in the world, what you are truly experiencing is a profound spiritual homesickness. You have spent so much of your life trying to build a home for yourself out of the fleeting materials of this world. You tried to make a home out of a relationship, but people can change or leave, and the walls of that home prove to be fragile. You tried to make a home out of your career or your accomplishments, but success is a cold and drafty house, always demanding more from you, never offering true rest. You tried to make a home out of a physical place, a building of wood and stone, only to find that your inner turmoil and lostness came right through the door with you. These earthly homes can never satisfy the deep longing of your soul, because your soul was not made for them. Your soul was made for me. Tonight, I want to offer you a revolutionary truth that can heal your homesickness forever. The solution to your feeling of being lost is not to find a place, it is to find a person. I once told my disciples, "Abide in me, and I in you." And on the night before I died, I promised them, "I will come to you. In that day you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you." This is the secret. Home is not a location on a map. Home is a location in God. I am your home. My presence is your native country, your true dwelling place, your eternal sanctuary. I want you to let this idea reshape your understanding of security. I invite you to consciously, intentionally, make your home in me tonight. Picture my presence, not as something you visit, but as the very house you live in. The foundations of this home are my unshakable faithfulness. They go down into the bedrock of eternity and cannot be moved by any earthquake of circumstance or any storm of life. You are built upon a rock, and the gates of hell itself cannot prevail against this home. The walls of this home are my salvation. They are high and strong, surrounding you completely. The prophet Isaiah spoke of a day when you would call your walls salvation and your gates praise. These walls are not made of stone that can be breached, but of my finished work on the cross. No accusation, no condemnation, no fear can penetrate these walls. Within them, you are completely and eternally safe from all that would harm your soul. The roof of this home is my sovereignty. It shelters you from the scorching sun of anxiety and the pouring rains of sorrow. It is a perfect, leak-proof covering of my divine, loving control over all things. You can rest in this home, knowing that nothing can fall upon you that has not first been filtered through my loving and purposeful hands. You are covered, and the atmosphere within this home, the very air you breathe, is my unconditional love. It is warm, It is life-giving. It is filled with the scent of grace. It is the air of your true homeland. When you breathe it in, it calms your spirit, it soothes your heart, and it reminds you that you belong. You do not have to strive to enter this home. You are already in it. Your life is hidden with me in God. You just have to become aware of it. You just have to relax into it. You just have to stop your frantic search for other, lesser shelters and choose to consciously dwell in the home that has been yours all along. So, as you lie here tonight, I want you to feel yourself at home. Feel the solid foundation beneath you. Feel the strong walls around you. Feel the secure roof above you. And breathe in the warm, loving air of my presence. This is your place. This is where you belong. You are no longer a displaced person, a spiritual refugee wandering in the wilderness. You are a child, safe and sound in your Father's house. The feeling of being lost dissolves when you realize you are already home. The journey is not about finding your way to a distant place called heaven. The journey is about learning to live in the heaven that already lives inside of you, the reality of my indwelling presence. You can rest now, not as a weary traveler in a temporary inn, but as a beloved child in your own bed, in your own room, in your eternal home. There is no safer, more peaceful, more welcoming place in all of creation. Welcome home, my child. Rest now, my dear one, you have found your home in me. And yet, even at home, the night can feel dark. The fog of not knowing may not have lifted completely. The future may still seem like a dark and uncertain room. And there is a primal fear in the human heart associated with darkness. The darkness of uncertainty. The darkness of confusion. The darkness of a future you cannot see. This darkness can make you feel vulnerable, exposed, and afraid, even within the strong walls of your new home. I want to speak directly to that fear of the dark tonight. I want to transform your experience of this darkness of not knowing from something terrifying into something deeply comforting. You have been taught to fear the dark. But what if the darkness is not empty? What if the darkness is not a sign of my absence, but a different manifestation of my presence? What if the darkness is actually the shadow of my hand, held lovingly over you? The psalmist wrote, "If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. For me, there is no darkness. I see everything perfectly." Your confusion, your uncertainty, is a darkness only to you. To me, the path is illuminated. And because I am with you in your darkness, you are not truly in the dark at all. You are in my light, a light your eyes have not yet adjusted to see. But I want to give you an even more intimate image. I want you to feel yourself being held. I want you to stop thinking of yourself as a person standing alone in a dark room, and to start thinking of yourself as a very small child, being held securely in your Father's arms, in that very same dark room. Picture it. You are small. The room is dark. You cannot see the furniture or the way to the door. If you were alone, you would be terrified. But you are not alone. You are being held. Feel the strength of my arms around you. One of my arms is beneath you, supporting you completely. You cannot fall. The other arm is wrapped around you, holding you close to my chest. Feel the warmth of my body. Hear the deep, slow, steady rhythm of my heartbeat right beside your ear. It is a slow, powerful, reassuring drumbeat. I am here. I am here. I am here. Now. In this position, being held so securely, Does the darkness of the room seem so frightening? No. The darkness loses its power. It is no longer a threat, because the threat of darkness is the threat of being alone and vulnerable in it. But you are neither alone nor vulnerable. You are held. You are protected. You are cherished. The darkness of not knowing is actually an invitation to a deeper level of intimacy. On a bright, sunny day, a child might run ahead, confident in their own ability to see the path. But in a dark, unfamiliar place, that same child will press in close, will cling tightly to their father's hand, will draw all of their security not from their own sight, but from the felt presence of their protector. This season of not knowing is my invitation for you to press in close, to stop relying on your own vision and to start relying completely on the feeling of my arms around you. Let my embrace be your only orientation. You don't need to see the path when you can feel the one who is the path. You don't need to have the answers when you are being held by the one who is the answer. Your security is not in knowledge. It is in relationship. It is in being held. So I invite you to surrender to this embrace. Stop struggling to see in the dark. Stop trying to find the light switch. Cease your efforts and simply relax into my arms. Let your head rest against my chest. Let your body grow limp, trusting completely in the strength that is holding you. Feel the profound safety of it. In this embrace, the darkness is no longer a source of fear. It becomes a sanctuary, a quiet, private, intimate space, shared only by you and me. A cocoon of love where you can finally, truly, let go. The questions may still be there. The future may still be unseen. But you are not alone in the face of them. You are being held, and I will not let you go. I will hold you like this all through the night, through the deepest and darkest hours, and my hold will be the first thing you feel when the morning light begins to dawn. You are safe. You are loved. You are held. Let that be enough. Let that be everything. Rest now in the secure darkness of your Father's embrace. My beloved, you are resting now in the safest place in the universe, held in my arms, in the heart of your true home. The darkness of not knowing has been transformed from a place of fear into a sanctuary of intimacy. There is just one final act of surrender I invite you to make. One last thing to release so that your rest can be absolute and complete. I invite you now to surrender the map itself. All this time, you have been clutching the map of your life. Even when it was blank, even when it was torn and confusing, you have held onto it with a white-knuckled grip. Because, to hold the map, even a useless one, gives the illusion of control. It feels like the responsibility for the journey is still, in some small way, yours. To let go of the map completely feels like the ultimate loss of control, a final, terrifying leap of faith. And it is, but it is a leap into the ocean of my perfect love and my sovereign will. I want you to picture this map in your hands right now. See it in every detail. See the paths you tried to draw for yourself, the destinations you marked with such certainty, now faded and smeared by your own tears of frustration. See the great, blank, intimidating spaces of the unknown future. See the tangled, knotted lines of your present confusion. It is heavy, isn't it? It is a burden in and of itself. The very act of holding it, of feeling responsible for it, is exhausting. I am not asking you to understand the map. I am not asking you to decipher it. I am asking you to give it to me. See me sitting here with you, my hands open before you, waiting. My hands are not grasping. They are not demanding. They are simply open, offering to take this burden from you. This will be your choice. A conscious act of your will. The final, definitive act of trust for this day. I want you to, in your heart, make the decision to release your grip. One finger at a time. Let go of your hold on the map. Let go of your need to know the future. Let go of your insistence that the journey must look a certain way. Let go of your belief that you are the navigator of your own life. Let go of the pride that says you should be able to figure this out. Let go of the fear that tells you that if you release control, everything will fall apart. And as you open your hands, I want you to gently, reverently, place the map into mine. As you do, feel the weight of it leaving you. Feel the tension in your shoulders, your arms, and your hands dissolving. Feel the profound relief of releasing a burden you have carried for so long. You can breathe more deeply now. Your heart can beat more slowly. You have given up the impossible task of being your own God. Now, watch what I do with the map. I do not tear it up in frustration. I do not toss it aside as a useless thing. I take it and I hold it with tenderness and respect, for it represents your life, your hopes, your fears. And then I simply hold it to my heart. I absorb it into my being. Your path, with all its confusion, all its blank spaces, all its past mistakes and future uncertainties, is now safely held within my own sovereign, loving plan. It is no longer your problem to solve. It is now my story to write. And I am the master author. I can write on blank pages. I can take the tangled lines and weave them into a beautiful, coherent narrative. I can take the torn pieces and make them into a glorious mosaic. Your path is infinitely safer in my hands than it ever was in yours. I know the way because I am creating the way, for you, with you, and through you, moment by moment. My plans for you, as the prophet Jeremiah declared in my name, are plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. This is my promise to you. The path I have for you does not lead to a dead end. It does not lead off a cliff. It leads to a future. It leads to hope. It leads, ultimately, home to me. Now that your hands are empty, you are finally free. You are free from the burden of navigation. You are free from the pressure of performance. Your hands are now open to simply hold onto mine. That is your only task. Hold my hand. Trust my heart. Walk with me. Let the peace of this final surrender wash over you like a gentle tide. There is nothing left for you to figure out tonight. There is no map you need to study. The path is in my hands. And you are in my hands. It is all taken care of. You have done the bravest work of all. You have trusted. You have let go. Now, your only remaining work is to rest. To sleep the deep, untroubled sleep of a child whose father is in complete and loving control of the entire journey. My precious child, you have made the final surrender. You have placed your unknown path into my knowing hands. And now, as you lie on the very edge of sleep, a holy and receptive vessel, I want to pour out a specific blessing upon you. A blessing is more than good wishes. It is an impartation of my grace, a declaration of my active power flowing into the specific places of your need. Open your heart now, and let these words of life saturate every part of your being. I bless your sense of direction. The inner compass of your soul, which has been spinning wildly in the storm of confusion, I bless it with stillness and with truth. I command it to cease its frantic searching and to find its true and final rest. pointed always and only toward me, your unshakable true north. May you awaken with a new, quiet confidence, not in your own ability to find the way, but in your soul's unfailing ability to find me. I bless you with a renewed instinct for my presence, a homing signal in your spirit that always knows the way back to me. Receive the blessing of a settled and true direction. I bless your feet, these feet that have grown so weary from wandering in the wilderness, from standing paralyzed in the fog, these feet that ache with the memory of hard and stony paths. I speak strength and renewal into them. I bless the arches and the ankles. I bless the muscles and the bones. But more than that, I bless the steps they will take tomorrow. May they no longer be steps of anxiety, but steps of faith. May they no longer be steps of frantic searching, but steps of quiet, peaceful walking with me. I bless your feet with the promise of my lamp, that they will always have a circle of light for the next safe step. May you walk not in fear, but in the gentle guidance I provide. Receive the blessing of guided and peaceful feet. I bless your eyes. These eyes that have strained so hard to see through the fog, to make sense of the confusion, leaving them tired and sore. These eyes that have looked upon the world and seen only chaos and threat. I bless them now with a new way of seeing. I release them from the need to see the whole horizon. I bless them with the ability to see the beauty in the small, the sacred in the simple, the grace in the present moment. I anoint your eyes with the soothing balm of my spirit, that you might begin to see your life not through the lens of your fear, but through the lens of my love. May you see my hand at work in the small details. May you see the light of my presence, even in the fog. Receive the blessing of a new and grace-filled vision. And I bless your heart, the very center of your lostness and your longing. The heart that has felt so adrift, so homeless, so forgotten. I speak a blessing of profound belonging over your heart. I declare over it that it is not, and never has been, an orphan. It is the cherished dwelling place of the Most High God. I bless your heart with an unshakable sense of being found. I seal upon it the truth that it is known, named, and held. I bless it with a courage that is not the absence of fear, but the presence of me in the midst of fear. May your heart be so filled with my love, so anchored in my peace, that the waves of confusion can wash over it without ever disturbing its deep inner calm. Receive the blessing of a found, an anchored, and a fearless heart. This blessing is my gift to you. It is my life flowing into you, rewiring your anxieties and renewing your hope. Let it be the gentle rain that falls upon the garden of your soul all through the night. Let it soak in deep, watering the seeds of faith and peace. You are blessed, my child. You are blessed in your coming in and your going out. You are blessed in your resting and your waking. You are blessed because you are mine. Now let this blessing be the soft, final whisper that carries you into the depths of a truly blessed sleep. My beloved, as the gentle weight of my blessing settles upon you, bringing peace to your mind, your body, and your soul, I want you to embrace one final, glorious truth. It is the destination we have been walking toward all this night. You came to me feeling lost, and your deepest longing was to be found. And now, I declare this reality over you. You are found. Perhaps a part of you resists this. Perhaps you think, but I still don't know the answers. The fog hasn't completely lifted. I still don't know which way to go tomorrow. You have equated being found with arriving at a destination, with having all the solutions, with the complete and total absence of confusion. But that is the world's definition of being found. It is a definition based on sight and on understanding. My definition is based on relationship and on presence. In my kingdom, you are not found when you finally see the clear path. You are found the moment you are back in the conscious presence of your shepherd. You are not found when you arrive at the sheepfold. You are found the moment the shepherd lifts you onto his shoulders. The rescue is not about reaching a geographical location. The rescue is about being restored to a person, to me, and that has already happened. You came here tonight. You turned your heart toward me. You let go of your burdens. You rested in my promises. You surrendered your map. You have returned to me, and in returning to me, you have been found. The search is over. Think back to the story of my prodigal son. He was lost in a distant country, a wilderness of his own making. When did his foundness truly begin? Was it when he finally reached his father's property line? No. It was the moment he came to himself in the pigsty and made the decision to turn back home. It was the moment his heart reoriented itself toward his father. His father saw him when he was still a long way off and ran to meet him. He was embraced, kissed, and robed in honor while he was still covered in the filth of his journey, long before he even stepped foot inside the house. His foundness was sealed in the Father's embrace. You have made that turn tonight. You have come to yourself in your weariness and confusion, and you have turned your heart toward your Father, and I have run to meet you. I have embraced you. I have covered you with the robe of my righteousness, and placed the ring of belonging on your finger. You are found. It is a present tense reality. It is a done deal. Let this truth sink into the deepest foundations of your being and extinguish the last embers of your panic. You can stop striving to be found. You can stop worrying that you are still lost. You are not lost. You are with me, and whoever is with me is on the way, is in the truth, and is living the life. The feeling of being lost is a powerful emotion, but it is no longer your core reality. Your core reality, your unchangeable spiritual position, is that you are a beloved child, hidden with me in God. You are a cherished sheep, resting securely on the shoulders of your good shepherd. You are a branch, abiding safely in the true vine. You are found. So when you awaken in the morning, and the remnants of the fog are still visible, and the questions of the day begin to arise, your first thought does not have to be, "Oh no, I am still lost." Your first thought can be, "I am still found. I am still with my shepherd, and he will guide me through this day, one step at a time." This changes everything. It changes you from a frantic, searching soul into a peacefully expectant soul. It changes you from a terrified victim of circumstance into a beloved companion on a guided adventure. Let the identity of foundness be the very ground of your being as you fall asleep. You are not a lost soul hopefully drifting toward peace. You are a found soul already immersed in the ocean of my grace, being carried into a deep and restorative rest. The struggle is over. The search has ended. The shepherd has found his sheep. You are home. You are safe. You are found. Rest in that glorious, unshakable truth now. Rest. And so, my found and beloved child, we arrive at the very threshold of sleep. The journey of this night is complete. We have walked together through the valley of your fears and confusion, and we have arrived here, in this quiet pasture of profound peace. You are held, you are known, you are anchored, you are home. There is nothing left to hold on to. There is nothing left to figure out. All that is left is to let go. I want to give you one final, loving instruction, one final permission. Do not fight for clarity tonight. Fight for rest. Your mind, even now, might be tempted to do some last-minute work. It might want to try and make sense of all we have discussed, to organize it into a neat plan of action for tomorrow. It might want to rehearse the truths, fearful that if it doesn't hold on to them tightly, they will vanish by morning. This is the last, subtle trick of striving. It is the belief that your peace depends on your ability to intellectually grasp and maintain it. Release this need. The truths we have shared are not fragile ideas that will evaporate. They are eternal realities. They will be here when you wake up. My presence will be here. My love will be here. The anchor will still be holding. The shepherd will still be carrying you. You do not need to maintain your own peace through mental effort. I will maintain you in my peace. Your greatest act of faith tonight is not to review the lesson, but to trust the teacher. It is to close your tired eyes and surrender to the healing darkness of a deep and dreamless sleep, trusting that the work of restoration happens most profoundly when you are not even aware of it. Clarity is often a gift that comes with the morning light. It is a grace that is born out of a rested soul. You have been trying to force the bud of a solution to open in the darkness of your exhaustion. I am inviting you to simply sleep and to trust that in the warmth of a new day's sun, the flower will open on its own, in its own time, according to my perfect wisdom. You cannot solve today's problems with tomorrow's grace, and you cannot solve tomorrow's problems with today's weariness. So give yourself over to the process. Sleep is not a waste of time. It is a sacred and necessary part of your healing. While you sleep, I am at work. I am strengthening your body. I am calming your nervous system. I am quieting your subconscious. I am ministering to the deep, wounded places of your heart. I am preparing for you the portion of grace and wisdom you will need for the day to come. Your job is simply to be still and let me do this work. Let the last conscious sensation you have be one of sinking into your bed, sinking into the safety of my embrace, sinking into the deep, quiet ocean of my love. Let go of the shoreline of this day. Let go of the need to see the shore of tomorrow. Just float, drift, and sink into the peaceful abyss of my care. I will be the guardian of your sleep. I will watch over your breathing. I will stand guard against any troubling dream or any encroaching fear. You are completely safe. The night holds no terror for one who is held by the Lord of the night. The fog will lift in its time. The path will become clear, one step at a time. The answers will come as you have need of them. But none of that is your concern tonight. Your only concern is this holy, blessed, and well-deserved rest. So sleep now, my beloved. Sleep, my found one. Sleep, my cherished child. Let the last vestiges of thought dissolve into the stillness. Let the rhythm of your slow, deep breathing be the only lullaby you need. I am here, I am holding you, and I will be the first thing you are aware of when the morning light, full of new mercy and fresh hope, gently awakens you. All is well. Everything is in my hands. Sleep, sleep now, sleep.